at the movies clip? These are old notes.
I think we've talked about it before. Maybe 5 years ago, we talked about Ebert and Siskel going at each other.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Pleasantries, 10 minutes.
That's, boy, you're expecting a lot of pleasantries. I don't think I got 10 minutes of pleasantries in me.
I can't remember. Is red means go? Red means record?
How can you tell? I thought you were colorblind.
Illuminated red and illuminated green are pretty easy to see.
So your whole stoplight story.
No, green, it's yellow and red. Is yellow and red. That screws me up. The green's easy because it looks white.
All right.
It looks like a gray,
I see.
Like a grayish white. Mm-hmm. Really questioning my maladies.
My favorite Smith's outtake, questioning my maladies.
You're really questioning my maladies.
No, I said melodies. I can't believe the band's going to break up just because of that. Actually, melodies would be worse, right? If Johnny was questioning Stevens, that's his
maladies.
Melodies instead of his maladies.
Johnny Marr and Steven. That's his name, Steven.
Born with the first name.
Stephen Morrissey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you know. Sorry.
I thought it was Elvis.
Sorry, Steve. I'm pretty sure it's Steven with a PH.
Of course, with the PH.
Because why would I know that but couldn't remember Jennifer Connelly's name?
That's a great question.
Yeah, Stephen Patrick Morrissey.
Stephen.
Well, no, I think it was with a V. I was wrong. Even worse, even more. Wow, not even a PH. No wonder he got rid of it.
And you're going at me about not seeing Hard Day's Night. Welcome to another special episode of Lost and Found and Rewound, a podcast where two of our hosts gave it all up to chase their rock and roll dreams, while our third host went to business school. I'm Chris Lost.
I'm Found Jim.
And I'm
Viscount. Did you already use that?
Is it Viscount or Viscount?
Yeah.
How do you say it? You pronounce it Viscount?
I think so.
It's over.
I'm not sure.
He blew it last episode. He didn't have a title.
I like Viscount. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Baron von Jim.
Jim's just getting in the spirit of New America.
All right, it's been great.
We just watched the 1987 Chicago film, Light of Day.
Cleveland
film, Light of Day. Does anybody want to take a shot at the synopsis of the film?
How about we do it
in the round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joan Jett.
Michael J. Fox.
And Gena Rowlands.
Star.
We're doing single words now. Okay. No,
we can't do single words.
What? Why not?
Brother and sister trying to make it as a rock band.
Allegedly a brother and sister.
Yeah.
They're pretty close at times, and then not so close at other times.
Uh-huh.
You can't quite meet her when they like each other and when they don't.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Paul Schrader.
We did, Taxi Driver?
Heaven's Gate.
Why would you say that? Heaven's Gate?
Am I wrong about that?
Yes, you are.
Oh, no. He didn't do Heaven's
Michael
Gate.
Cimino.
Oh, Michael Cimino. Oh, my Lord. I really screwed up.
Michael Cimino's an Italian, too.
Aren't we all Italians, though? A little Italian.
Cat people.
I know a little Italian. He's sitting right over here. Oh, yeah, cat people.
First Reformed. What was the last one I saw? The white supremacist gardener. Trying to remember what that movie's actually called. That was the last one I saw, Paul Schrader film. It's about a gardener who was a white supremacist, but it's not called White Supremacist Gardener.
Pupil?
No, that's... Okay, now you're just messing with me.
Here's the problem. Not only, as Rick points out, not only do I not have the depth and breadth of Rick's entertainment knowledge, but also my mind is completely fried.
If it makes you feel any better, Chris, I've forgotten more than you know. So mean. That's something Joan Jett would say to Michael J. Fox.
And to her mom.
To her mom.
And to her son.
This is, man. Paul Schrader's working out a lot of issues with so many people, I think, in these characters.
It had every dysfunctional family archetype in it. You know, it had like the authority figure who arguably raped somebody, statutory rape. Or do you think the Reverend... I guess I did the math. She was 26 at the time that the film was made.
Joan Jett or the character?
Joan Jett was.
Okay.
And so if you figure the kid is 5, she was 20 when she had the kid. The Reverend looked about 48.
48. I think he was younger.
Yeah, he looked younger than that.
Just surprised. Yeah, for
42
1980s.
maybe.
What's the fall song? Hip Priest.
Hip Priest. Yeah.
But yeah, we should say Joan Jett has a child, a bastard child that was sired with the Reverend, but you find that
Spoiler alert.
late in the film.
Who I believe is the dad from My So-Called Life.
Oh, yeah, I think he was. They flirt with going on the road as a touring band. They're musicians. They're in a band called, unfortunately titled, what are they? The Barbusters or something?
Barbusters.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're on the road for quite a while.
There's a change of seasons, right?
There's a change of seasons. It starts out in the summer or fall, and then it's winter.
That's true. And then she quits the Barbusters and joins the Hunts.
Huns.
The
Huns.
Huns. With
Like
a Z.
Huns, but with 2 Z's.
They're a metal band. They're pretty good.
Mhm.
Kind of like the Huns.
Yeah.
Let's rank the bands. What, were they the best band out of all these bands?
Trent Reznor's band was the best.
Yeah. What were they called? The Problems?
The Problems. Probably with a Z as well. Something like that.
Yeah.
Not the Clean.
Or just without was it just Problems?
The guy who was in the lounge band was apparently in the Clean, but I don't think it was the same Clean
Yeah, we didn't hear it clean.
because they broke up.
So the lounge band was probably the best. Then came Trent Reznor's band. Then came
Huns.
and then Barbusters. I kept thinking of the Bar Tabbies. Which is what
Which would have been, I think that would have been a hard sell. Maybe was that the original name?
that's what the Tar Babies are now.
Oh, really? They're called the
they're
Bar
called the
Tab-
Bar Tabbies. They've
Oh, that's funny.
at some point they flipped their name and
Oh.
like that you can hire them to do shows. I wanted to like have Bucky Pope play like my birthday party or something.
He was a great guitarist. I remember that was like a Jimi Hendrix moment when I saw them. Who do they play with? Not the Minutemen. They must have played with Firehose. Yeah, seeing Bucky Pope play.
I missed a show. I was sick in my dorm room. The Tar Babies and Mudhoney.
We're playing in the dorm room next door.
No, we're playing at the old Blue Note in Columbia, Missouri. Scott went, and the cold medicine I took broke my fever right around 9 p.m. And I was like, I should walk in the winter cold to see them. I'll never get another chance to see them, and I never did. So I didn't go.
What were some of the songs that Mudhoney played?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean, they played In and Out of Grace, of course. It was right around that time when that 7-inch came out.
I'm trying to remember some other Mudhoney songs.
Super Fuzz, Big Muff.
Well, that was the EP name.
the EP, yeah.
What was the song in that record?
In and Out of Grace, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Any other Mudhoney songs?
That's the only one.
I'm trying to get you to say a song name.
I am?
Yeah.
Or, see, I told you. By the way, I did get an MRI. Is it an MRI? What do you get on your brain what did you get? Is it an
tumor?
MRI? Yeah, that too.
MRI. Yeah.
I got the MRI and I got the blood tests and they all came back
You're fine.
negative. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So
EEG?
I'm just
Did you get an
stupid.
EEG?
That's all it is. I'm doing the sleep test sometime soon. And then
Are they going to actually let you go into a place and sleep, or are they going to make you take home a
No, I get to go to a
doohickey?
place. I have to go in and
Yeah.
sleep.
My insurance wouldn't cover you sleeping overnight in a hospital.
Cushy.
Yeah,
Hospital.
cushy, yeah.
They said it was 2-stage though. You do something at night, and if they found a problem, then you have to go in and do them.
Spend a week.
No, just a
Solitary confinement.
That'd be amazing.
Touch me, I'm sick. See, that was the joke. You see, I was trying to get you to say, touch me, I'm sick, because you were sick.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, my brain is fried. There's
I'm setting you up, man.
Well, you need a much more clever straight man You're going to be setting me up.
I thought I was a straight man.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why it's not happening.
You need a joker on this show.
It's like Abbott and Abbott.
Right. Yeah, or...
That's a law firm. You got Abbott and Costello, that's comedy. Abbott and Abbott, law firm.
It's like Smothers and Smothers.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I don't know what I'm saying. So she quits their rock band, joins a metal band. They play the Metro. And
What's it called in the movie? There are a couple of where they change out the signs. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. 86, 87, we're already going to some of these places, right? Or at least the Metro.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But this was shot, I think it was shot in 85 or 86.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little borderline.
But definitely, yeah. The Metro. But
Yeah.
Euclid Tavern, no. But we...
Right.
So Rick and I played in this band.
And how many venues from this film? You played 3 of the venues in this film?
I think just 2. But definitely the Euclid Tavern.
Euclid, Metro,
And Phyllis.
and Phyllis.
Oh, Phyllis is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only played 1 of the 3.
The first time I heard about this movie, I think, was sitting in the Euclid Tavern before we're going to play, right? And then
And Jim, please have some respect and call it the uke,
the uke, yes.
like everyone would
Sitting-
in the scene. The uke.
Going to the uke. We were playing the uke. And
That feels like Paul Schrader is doing some research and somebody just, like Trent Reznor was giving him some shit and said, oh no, everybody calls it the uke. I'm writing that down.
Sorry, Jim, we'll get back to this anecdote. You bring up a good point that we have to say. This film came off like a guy who doesn't know a lot about music or playing in bands or the scenes of the time wanted to write a rock and roll movie.
yeah.
It came off a little stale, or I don't know how to describe it, but things like the uke and just the way they would talk about things, or I don't know,
Yeah.
it all seemed a little off.
And the bands, the genres are all mixed up and weird. The crowds, it's like there's no coherent scene or anything.
At the metal show, a guy was crowd surfing like he was at a Fugazi show.
Right.
And it's like, no, he would just stand there and like throw the devil horns at the Huns.
There was no crowd surfing yet. You would have known that if you had gone and seen like Mudhoney and stuff.
But anyways, we were sitting, gonna play. We played the Euclid Tavern several times, but one thing I always remember, it was like, on the wall, there's this little display of photographs and newspaper clippings, and it's like, it's about this movie they shot here at the Euclid Tavern, and it stars Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett, and it's like, we have to watch that. I think I'd never heard of it. We had never heard of it, but this is probably the early 90s, and that's the first time I ever saw anything about this movie, and it was like, we have to see this weird movie at some point. And I think we watched it at some point in the 90s maybe, but
maybe?
I don't know if we ever saw the whole thing. Or
knowing that it was a Paul Schrader film, I feel like I didn't know that until a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which is even more confusing. And then, it was like a few months ago when you were starting to send pictures of like Phyllis's and from the movie, and then it was like Gena Rowlands is in it. Paul Schrader directed it. The guy from The Exorcist is in it. You just started, like, I knew Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett, but the deeper you go, you're just like, what happened here?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Paul Schrader did it until Sunday. And I was like, the taxi driver guy? And then, Gena Rowlands was
The Heaven's Gate guy?
Well, that's what I thought, too. I definitely thought the Heaven's Gate guy. But I was looking at the films that he did leading up to this and then after this. So he did Hardcore in 1979. These are films.
Chris, when did he do Days of Heaven?
That's Terrence Malick, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yes.
Did I get that one right? Okay. So
Gates of Heaven? When did he do Gates of Heaven?
Well, I'm sorry. Did I say Gates of Heaven?
No.
Did I say
I'm just
Heaven's
throwing that
Gate?
one in there to freak you out too.
Yeah, see.
You know who that is?
You know what? You're like, it's like you're the kid, like playing with a turtle. You've got a stick and you're torturing a turtle. So just think of that's what you are right now. He did Hardcore in 1979. He did American Gigolo in 1980. These are films he directed.
Good music.
Excellent music. Blondie.
She's great. That singer Blondie. She's great.
She is great. Cat People in 1982.
Right.
Good music.
Mishima, A Life in Four Chapters.
And I have not seen that film, and I need to see that film because that's an important film. That's like his most important film, right?
In 1985.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but I really wanted to see it.
Yeah.
He did a Bob Dylan video for Tight Connection to My Heart - Has Anybody Seen My Love?
Don't need to see that.
And then he did this film, and then he did Patty Hearst.
Ooh, I've seen Patty Hearst.
I don't know what that Bob Dylan song is from. I can't remember. What album would that be? Oh Mercy, maybe? I don't know.
One of those albums in the 40 years after Blonde on Blonde.
By the way, I did see No Direction Home. No Direction Home? What is the name of the Bob Dylan movie?
The Martin Scorsese film?
What is the name of the new Bob Dylan movie?
A Complete Unknown.
Oh, A Complete Unknown, yeah. So I was close. And lyrically, I was near there.
James Foley? Is that who directed it?
I don't know who directed that movie. I just know that it was the story of two incredibly beautiful, talented women who are wasting their time with an asshole. And when I saw it from that perspective, I thought it was a pretty interesting film. Our friend Scott always points out, he's like, so did you notice the thing I noticed in that movie? And I'm like, what is he? He's like, every time he opens his mouth and sings, everybody just gets fully agape. Like, oh my God, I've never heard. And I was like, yeah, I mean, they're like, this guy sings a little worse than Tom Petty. Why does everybody think he's like a genius anyway? It was kind of funny how every time he starts singing, like the whole room is just like, wait, whoa, who is that?
Inside Llewellyn Davis. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah, the Coen brothers directed that film.
Yes. I just saw a preview for a half Coen.
I don't know if I'm into the half Coens.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
think so.
see.
I think it's time for them to get back together.
Get on the whole Coen.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Schrader. He wrote Rolling Thunder. I don't think he didn't direct it. Have you guys seen Rolling Thunder?
That's not the Bob Dylan thing.
No, this is a film of a Vietnam vet who comes home and they give him like a case of rare coins. And then some people break into his house to steal his rare coins and they grind his fist down to a nub in his disposal. What do you call it? Garbage disposal? And then they kill his wife and kid. And then it's a revenge film.
Oh.
Tarantino turned us on to it.
The Card Counter, more recent Schrader film, is the guy who's a card counter, but then he used to torture people at not Guantanamo. What was the Abu Ghraib? There's a little bit of darkness in Paul Schrader. So in fact, this film, Light of Day, pretty light for him.
Yeah.
Actually.
So maybe explains the title.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know what? I want to write something that's a little more uplifting.
So that was our synopsis of the film. A brother and sister who are in a band, a mother who has a real issue with the sister but favors the brother.
Even though they're both in the band.
Yeah.
Oh, but she had a baby.
She had the baby out of wedlock, and that's a big issue.
And she's a Satanist. I think we can say that, right? Like Joan Jett is like actively, it's not just that she's like not religious. It's kind of like a Rosemary's Baby kind of situation where she's really like.
Well, then there's the scene where Benji gives his grandma cancer. And
I missed that. I must have dozed off.
He goes like, and he's just like staring at her brain.
Right, yeah.
And then she's like, I don't know what a dishwasher is. Oh yeah, grandma forgets that they have a dishwasher. She forgets all the heroes in her stories.
I think maybe this is the time that I say the lesson that came from the film was you can miss your mother's funeral, but you can't miss the gig.
Right on.
Look, if you've gotten this far in the podcast, I would tell you to pause and go watch the movie because we're not going to be able to present it in any coherent fashion. Michael J. Fox, he was in the film. He was in Back to the Future and Teen Wolf in 1985.
Family Ties
from 1982 to 1989. So this happened during Family Ties. This was his first feature since Teen Wolf and was followed by The Return of Bruno. I don't know what he did you remember The Return of Bruno, the Bruce Willis TV special.
Oh, wow.
And The Secret of My Success. That was the film he did after this film.
Michael J. Fox trying to play an adult, a character his actual age.
Right. This is the first film where he smoked on camera.
And he was a smoker.
He was a chain smoker off camera.
Mm-hmm. And he hits Joan Jett, smacks her
in the face.
But to be fair, she hit him first.
Right.
With the guitar stand.
Symbolic.
Well, I'll remember my famous Sebadoh story when, is it Eric who's the guy?
Yeah.
The Eric A friend of mine hit me over the head with his guitar. I pulled the strings of the guitar and handed it back to him. And then the guy from Zebedee went, "You never do that to a guitar." Lou took him in the back and stuck him in the band for the rest of the night. Casualty of War was 1989. So that was just a couple of years after this film came
Brian
out.
De Palma?
No, that was Friedkin.
Friedkin did Casualties of War.
I think it was Friedkin.
Check it.
Well, you better check it if I'm the one claiming it. Joan Jett was in this film as his sister. I don't think we've said that.
We haven't mentioned Joan Jett at all, huh?
I don't think we have.
I think that was maybe the first person we mentioned.
Well, I don't remember it, so it didn't happen.
Ask the editor.
The editor will make sure that I'm the first time it was mentioned.
Yeah, you're gonna make me look like an idiot.
Gena Rowlands, Michael McKean, Michael Rooker, Trent Reznor.
Del Close.
Del
A
Close.
small role.
You went wild for Del Close. You really popped, as the kids say. You really popped for Del Close.
Yeah, just because
He's an important person, but it's his movie appearances are very odd.
yeah, he's a comedy guy, but he's just a surgeon or doctor.
At least in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he's being funny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's a teacher.
I mean, he's a seminal figure in Second City improv, very important person in Chicago theater and comedy. He never seems funny in anything, really. I mean, he's kind of funny in Ferris Bueller, but I'm trying to remember what I've seen him in. I hate to tell you this, Chris, but Brian De Palma did Casualties
Did he
of
really?
War. Yeah.
Oh, son of a
Sorry,
gun.
man.
What did Friedkin do that was of that nature?
John C. Reilly is in Casualties of War. What year is that? 89. Wow. He must be like a little baby.
He plays the baby in that movie. Remember when they kill the babies?
Ving Rhames. Wow, there's a lot of people in Casualties. Maybe we should have watched that. I remembered Sean Penn.
Still not a very good movie.
So Michael J. Fox, I mean, I feel like he's a good actor, and I could see him acting. There's just something doesn't work for me.
he's not like a rock and roller, like in this
Yeah.
role. You mean? Because
Yeah,
he
but
definitely is not totally believable.
Even working class, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we had this conversation with Michael on the show is like, it's not so much that you aren't a great actor. It's just you don't fit the part. And I just don't think he fit the part. You needed somebody who, like, who's the guy that plays the Incredible Hulk?
Lou Ferrigno. I was going to say it without laughing.
He was in You Can Count on Me. Ruffalo, Mark Ruffalo might have been a better. Have you ever seen You Can Count on Me? In fact,
No, I don't think
You Can Count on Me is essentially a great version of Light of Day. If you guys haven't seen, come on, Rick, what are we doing here? If you haven't said You Can Count on Me, of course you'll look it
You
up.
Can Count on Me. Which one is...
Chris, there's no film ever called You Can Count on Me.
And Mark Ruffalo is not in it.
Whatever you're talking about, Chris. And Laura Linney? Okay, let's test Chris's brain.
Yeah, it is Laura Linney.
And is Mark Ruffalo in it?
Yeah.
And what's it called?
Oh, Matthew Broderick is in it too.
Is it You Can Count on Me?
Oh, wait, maybe Mark Ruffalo's not in it. I thought I saw his picture, but his name, he is not showing up.
No, Mark Ruffalo's got to be in that movie.
Let's see. So far, I got Laura Linney, Matthew Broderick, Amy Ryan. He might be later on. Maybe it's in order of appearance. Rory Culkin. Wow, got Culkin. Oh, Mark Ruffalo's in it. I was right.
Oh, my Lord. You were right. Anyway, that's actually a great way to describe Light of Day. It's the bad version of You Can Count on Me.
I think I read this. I didn't make this up. Bruce Springsteen does the song Light of Day. They sing at the end.
He does.
And I think what happened was Paul Schrader kind of wrote this. He wanted Bruce Springsteen to be in the movie, I think.
He wanted him to play the Michael J. Fox part.
Right. Which would be weird. He's too old,
Too
right?
old.
He would, by then, even then, I mean, maybe not. Well, no.
Let's do the math. How old would he have been? I guess he would have been too old. Yeah. He would have been Michael McKean age, right?
Yeah, it seems like, who knows? It was just when he wrote it,
Yeah.
he was thinking of him. And so he told, I guess he sent, Bruce Springsteen had the script and was like, no, I can't do this, or what, for whatever
And what
reason.
was the script titled?
Born in the USA.
Right.
Bruce takes that, says, oh, that's a great name. I'm going to call this song I'm working on Born in the USA, and the record. And he puts out the record Born in the USA. And by that time, it sounds like, I don't know if Paul Schrader knew about this or whatever, but anyways, he ended up consolation or like, I'm sorry, I took the name. Here's
Here's
song.
a point off the album, and Paul Schrader made hundreds of millions of dollars. No?
I don't know. No.
Bruce didn't give him...
I don't know about that.
Didn't
but
give him
no.
a cut of the songwriting or
I don't know.
the album? Didn't give him points on the album? No. He just
Probably
said,
not.
here, you know what? Here's a song.
Yeah.
Here's a song, Light of Day, for your friend Michael J. Fox to sing,
Right.
and Joan Jett.
He did give him the song. I don't know if it was in consolation for leaving the project or stealing the title.
And you know the story of Born in the USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no hits on this record.
Who said that?
Wasn't it John? What's
The A&R guy?
No, the manager. Even worse, his manager, right? The critic guy who ruined MC5. He's going to be in the movie. There's, the Bruce Springsteen movie that's coming out. John. Can't remember Bruce Springsteen's manager's name.
You're the expert.
Yeah. I think he had to. Maybe it was the label. I can't remember. I don't know.
MCA said the same thing about Full Moon Fever when Tom Petty turned that in. So I've been listening to the Mike Campbell audiobook lately. I'm almost done with it. And so I know a shitload about Tom Petty now.
And the Folgers story is not true?
What's the Folgers story?
Yeah. We don't need to go into the
I
Folgers
didn't hear
story.
any Folgers story.
Or no, it's Maxwell House. Sorry.
According to Mike Campbell, the Traveling Wilburys came out, and that got Full Moon Fever greenlit when Traveling Wilburys became a hit. Then there's a lot of Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, Mike Campbell sort of interactions, interplay throughout the whole career of the Heartbreakers.
And by interaction, does that mean drugs?
There are a lot of drugs, yeah. They do a lot of drugs. But the drugs don't necessarily dominate that book. There's some nice Dylan anecdotes.
He apparently has a house that no one in his family has ever been in. That's what I heard, Bob Dylan.
Cool.
He does?
Even his wife, or when he is married sometimes.
I mean,
even that's confusing.
That sounds appealing to me.
Yeah, no, I know it does. It's like a man cave, except it's a whole house.
Well, I have a whole part of my house that no people are allowed in except me and my friends.
What else happened in this movie? I mean,
they were talking about the locations. I want to go into more locations. The one was listed as the Thirsty Whale, which I'm ashamed to say I never went to, but did you ever go there, Chris?
So now, guys, here we
You
go.
played.
I've
You
played the Thirsty
Yeah,
Whale.
I
So
thought
now
so.
I've played two of two.
Yeah,
right.
You
Forgot
guys have played three. I've played two.
where's the Thirsty Whale?
I don't even know where it was. I don't think it still exists.
Starbeat presents What's Happening.
So, Jim, you've never played Phyllis's with the band that you're in with Rick.
Yeah, we did.
have. Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Not the original. They played there before I was in the band. The very first show in
First
Chicago
show was Phyllis's.
because Phyllis Rose's dad was Phyllis's dentist, right?
Yeah.
So he got
us the gig. Clem, her son, was by then, I think, running things.
So
But
you've played Phyllis's in two different bands, Jim?
Yeah. Then later, and we played there again. The first time you played there, I was not in the band, but later on we played there once. Yeah, and the Metro, Cabaret Metro, as it once was called. But the Thirsty Whale, I only know by legend. It was just kind of like the suburban metal bar, right? It's just kind of the heavy metal. All different bands, but it seemed like it was kind of a heavy.
It was
metal.
a metal bar.
Yeah.
and the band I was in at the time bordered on metal. Two of our members were metal, and
Right.
two of our members were underground. I don't know, underground pop musicians.
It was
kind of like the Bar Busters.
Yeah, it was like a hybrid.
Yes,
You're straddling genres.
we were definitely straddling genres. But the more I go back and listen to what we sounded like, we sound like the Stooges. And I was like, and we had never heard it was probably 4 more years before I'd ever hear a Stooges record.
Mother Love Bone played their only Chicago show at the Thirsty Whale.
Well, that adds up because that band that I was in really liked Mother Love Bone. I told you I wrote Jeff Ament when Andrew Wood died and asked him if I could be their lead singer.
Right.
Yeah, you were hoping for an Ed from Ohio situation.
Exactly. And instead an Ed from Chicago trumped me, or Ed from we can't quite pin down where he's from, but he claims
Chicago, but San Diego, right?
San Diego and Chicago.
Wow. The Thirsty Well closed its doors on June 2nd, 1996, and was demolished to make way for a BP gas station and McDonald's.
Oh,
It's a shame.
it's like that Joni Mitchell song, or
Yeah.
they tore down.
Tear down paradise.
They tore down the Thirsty
Put up
Whale.
a gas station and
Put up a
McDonald's.
gas station at McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's a line I am going to write in my song about that metal band. Any more location information, Jim?
No, I missed it, but I swear I read somewhere that the Pick Stop was a location, which was a guitar store in LaGrange, right around that I went to in high school. And
So they were they
I don't remember. It says something about him buying a guitar.
Oh.
It's just like a brief scene, but I completely missed it this time. I think I saw a clip of it somewhere in the past week or two before we watched it.
It wasn't like the
I think it was just a brief,
mixer thing.
Yeah, maybe it was then when they're something like that. It's just a brief thing, but I think it was supposedly the pick stop. It's just a brief. It's probably there's these kind of montages, like these musical interludes. So I bet it's in one of those musical.
I'm just wondering what mixer they had before the PV. So the PV is the goal. They want the PV mixer, and
they steal tools. They try.
Joan Jett, not they.
Right,
now Michael McKean bows out first.
And Michael J. Fox.
The Michaels bow out.
Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Mr. Rock and Roll Angel leaves, and then Joan. Well, then she leaves, and she doesn't. She goes back and robs this place later.
$600 worth of tools to buy a PV mixing board.
Yeah, and to replace the crappy board they had. So, like, I'm trying to figure. In that era, PV was the bottom of the line. I thought.
Right. Yeah.
Tapco. Maybe a Tapco mixer or something.
Well, it was just old. I think it was just an old
older than
mixer
the PV
that they had to solder.
Only 5-year-old PV mixer.
Kansas City. Food-wise, once only known as a barbecue town. But thanks to the Taco the Town podcast, everything has changed. Kansas City has rightfully taken its place as a taco paradise, smack dab in the middle of the USA. And all of these tacos belong to us on the Taco the Town podcast. My name is W. David Keith, certified tacoholic, and I live a very taco-centric lifestyle. On the Taco the Town podcast, we're tasting every taco in the town. We shine a light on all of the taco-rific tacos Kansas City has to offer, unearthing great taco memories, checking the latest stories in taco news, and interviewing actors, reporters, chefs, politicians, and musicians about their love for tacos. If you love tacos like I do, you're gonna love Taco the Town. Available wherever you get your taco podcasts. A proud member of the Lotus Pod Podcasting Network.
So I'm surprised you guys were surprised by this film in the 90s, because I remember when they were filming it around. I remember when they were filming at Pick Stop.
Really?
And I remember when this film came out, I really wanted to see it because it had Michael J. Fox in it, and then the reviews were bad. Although Ebert gave it 3.5 stars out of 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I vaguely maybe remember the ads for it or something just because it was so weird, but I don't know.
87, this would not be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I was in
us.
high school.
Yeah.
So you guys were...
We were cool. You weren't.
Jim was still in high school.
Yeah, I just graduated. That was...
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was. I don't know. I don't think I was ever.
Even
cool.
Joan Jett was over, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, she's well past over, but that's what's funny is she's still super young. Like the Runaways are over at this point, right? And she.
Oh yeah, but she's already had the hits and everything.
But has she done the "Do you wanna touch"? Yeah, do you? She's done
I
her
think all
solo
that's-
record and all that.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's crazy is like her career was over. She was 26 years old.
Yeah.
That is wild. Like she must have started at 16 or something.
Yeah. The Runaways, they're
they
like
were.
15 or 16.
Were they
Yeah,
really?
that was deeply disturbing. Yeah, the story of the Runaways. Well, there's the kind of fun film version with what's his name? Michael Shannon, another Chicago guy, right? As Kim Fowley. That was from a few years ago, but yeah, it's much worse, apparently. Although it sounds like Joan Jett avoided a lot of the toxic behavior.
Critics gave this film 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience gave it 54%.
And I'm always curious what the Rotten Tomatoes system was like back in 1987.
Well, I think it's retroactively accumulating reviews.
Okay. So there wasn't an analog version of it back in the old days, like where Roger Ebert would send a tomato to a P.O. box somewhere, and then they'd collect all the tomatoes and count them.
He'd cut 25% off a tomato and then mail it in to some guy. A lot of comments about the family aspect of the story, but the criticism for it not hitting a lot of new notes. Oh, I found this review. Jim J 409 on IMDb says, "See it in your life at least once." I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah. As opposed to what in the afterlife.
Well, I think that's a great review. Like, I'm glad I've seen this film. I probably won't. I'm hedging on my. Will I rewind it? I probably won't rewind it.
Spoiler.
Will you rewind it? Let's get it over with. Rick, will you rewind it?
I don't know though. Gena Rowlands, like her acting, and then watching Joan Jett in the big scene at the end with them in the hospital. I'm trying to figure out the weirdness of Joan Jett. She's definitely expressionless. She's always like that though, right?
Yeah.
You do see her smile in this a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say there's something wrong with her, but she is really like super blank.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see that acting, and then Gena Rowlands is in a different movie.
I felt like Joan Jett had kind of mastered her attitude when she's around her mom, and then she just played that card in every scene. Even I think she did a good job, like a serviceable job as an actor, as a rock star trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
There were times where she needed some range, and she just stuck to the thing that she was doing well, which was being mad at mom, even though like mom was like in a moment where Gena Rowlands was like apologizing and forgiving her, and having an utmost understanding of the thing that was the wedge between the two of them, her bastard son. And like, I mean, there was a lot going on in a 7-minute scene that probably should have been about 2 minutes long. And Joan Jett was just giving her nothing.
Yeah.
She was just like, yes,
Yeah.
no. Did I tell you the Reverend Johnny is the father?
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. I don't think I need to see it again though.
I just want to see the pick stop. I have to see it watch it again to
Yeah,
see
have to
when.
rewind and find.
I know some of it was filmed in the Yorktown Mall, where the three of us all spent some of our childhood.
Right.
That was-
The B level mall, right?
Mhm.
The B grade mall.
Yeah.
There was Oakbrook, but
Yeah.
Oakbrook was outdoor.
Yeah.
And then you had your Yorktown, which had like
fountains.
the Montgomery wards, and and that was the first place I had a hot dog with poppy seed bun. I remember that from like when I was a little tiny child. There was a hot dog cart. Might have been the first time I had a hot dog, for all I know.
You never went to Bambino's in Brookfield?
This is like, I'm like 4 or 5 years old. It's before the renovation of Yorktown. So they had these crazy white kind of like, almost like kelp, but it was white, like kind of decorative fountain things in there.
Yeah.
And there was a cart, like a push cart, but it was inside.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a hot dog stand.
Later on in the 80s, early 80s, it was Chess King was there.
Chess King. Yeah, you had to go there to get your
Pants
new wave
with zippers and
it's
things.
a striped shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got some parachute pants there.
Too tight striped shirt that I wore once, kind of like almost like a mime shirt, like a new wave striped shirt. And it was too tight, and then I never wore it
You
again.
look good in that. Could you put that on right now?
I don't think so. I don't think it would even fit over my head. It was so tight. It was like, it was like too tight for a scrawny, 16-year-old, and I can't even imagine how I would get into it now.
I had a Cure t-shirt that I bought when I saw the Cure at Rosemont Horizon on the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me tour. That was like that. It was like, I don't even know how I got it on.
I had a Talking Heads tank top, but I would wear a white t-shirt underneath because I wouldn't wear a tank top. Yeah, it was a tank top. It said Speaking in Tongues on it. Talking Heads Speaking in Tongues. That's all it said on it. Boy, I wish I had that. I could probably sell that.
Tina Weymouth fashion line.
Yeah. And then I had a Peter Gabriel shirt. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was half black and half white. It was
Concert-
a diagonal. Yeah,
concert
concert
shirt.
tee.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they sewed it together. And then our sound guy had one once. He made one out of our band t-shirts. He had a white one and a black one, and then he cut it in half and made...
Panels.
Did you make the Peter Gabriel shirt?
No, they were selling these. It was crazy.
So they would print the shirts, cut them in half, and sew them back together?
I think they were sewn as this black and white diagonal kind of...
That's cool.
It was a new wave thing. Yeah, I've never seen... Yeah, it was pretty impressive for 1982 or whatever.
I need to make a shirt like that.
Because that was very important, right? If you went to a concert and then you had to have the shirt and then you'd go to school and you'd have the shirt
If
on.
you had the shirt, you'd be the shit. You're like, I went to Peter Gabriel last night.
Of course, that didn't really work for me. It was more like, wow, that's a weird shirt. Check out my moving picture shirt that I got on the Rush from the Rush show.
By the way, I'll say it again. I've said it before on the podcast. I went to see Rush perform Moving Pictures. It was a show where they played a bunch of hits and then they start Moving Pictures and play it end to end. And then I realized, I was like, oh, the exact point where Rush started to really suck was after the first song on the second side of Moving Pictures.
It was like that's the turning point.
That's the point. From that point on, there's not a good Rush song. There weren't a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that they were all great before then, but they were much better than what happened after that song. There's like one good song on the second side, and then it just goes to shit. What do you think? I was going to ask you, I was hoping that it would be appropriate to ask, like, what's it like? I guess there was that moment in the film where they have to decide, are they going to keep doing their menial jobs or are they going to try and go for it and go out on the road? You've both had to make that decision.
Well, the factory shut down. So
Is that what happened with
Yeah,
you?
we were working at the factory, and then the factory, they laid us off because we were the youngest workers there.
And Rick stole some tools, and I had to find $600 to pay.
The most
guy
disturbing part was when Jim put some ground beef in one of our young child's pants.
Well, that would have been you putting the ground beef in your child's pants.
Everyone, you got to watch the movie. You got to watch the movie. None of this is going to make sense.
There were steaks. Man, it wasn't
Yeah,
ground
I
beef.
know. It was
Yeah.
ground beef. I just couldn't remember the word steak.
Two siblings, both playing guitar.
One's surly and inexpressive.
Right. The other one is more of a nicer, kind of kindly person.
One possibly autistic.
Wait, who's autistic?
Joan Jett. I was, but then me. No, yeah.
Well, she certainly looked autistic in the mom's deathbed scene.
Yeah, and I'm not meaning in a way to be funny or anything. Actually, see now, I think we're going to have to edit this.
All right, I'll cut it out.
I think we are going to have to cut it out because I'm going to look something up.
Speaking of autistic, I'm gonna say something so that we can't edit it out. The Rehearsal by Nathan Fielder is absolutely brilliant. Have you guys watched it?
No.
You've got to watch the new. I've watched the first season and then the second season. If you haven't watched any,
What are we talking about?
Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal.
Oh, I can't watch that. It's too. His stuff is. Oops, sorry. It's too. Oh my gosh! What did I do? It's too
The lamp
cringy.
fell over on you. It is cringy. Okay. So I'll describe the scene. Rick got a little animated and shoved the couch into the end table, and there's a large lamp on the end table, and it
Very
rocked
heavy.
into the window and then back onto Rick's head. And then Rick is trying now arduously to get the lamp back up on its feet, and it's there now.
There's like so many pieces. So many of these things are like decades old. Like family heirloom like stuff. The lamp, the little trivet underneath the lamp, the window. This is like I almost destroyed
Well, you still
family
have
history
the
here.
post 9/11 plastic over the window. Remember when they told us to do that, to get the duct tape and the plastic and
Oh,
paint the
It's
windows?
just for draft control.
There was the anthrax. And
right.
Rick, you were going to explain to us why I have to cut out the autistic stuff.
I was worried that there was something about Joan Jett and autism. She does do benefits for autism research, though. What about Michael McKean's beard? So that was a fake beard, right?
It
Yeah.
looked
It
really
looked
fake.
fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Why would they put the fake beard on him for that one scene and then have to do another scene later where he said,
Mentions
you look
it.
thinner?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I shaved my beard.
So was it a reshoot and he was in the midst of some other film?
So then the question is it possible that that's his real beard?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen Michael McKean in a film with a real beard, but I feel like it looked like a fake beard.
Carpet didn't match the drapes.
Well, it's more like it was just sticking out like
Yeah.
in an odd way
Fake.
that did not look like it looked like, hey, can we put a beard on him?
Because he's playing in the lounge band.
And time has passed.
Yeah.
It was
Different.
a weird choice, if it were a choice.
If I ever meet Michael McKean, this is the one question I'm going to have to ask him.
You should absolutely ask him that.
I feel like now I got to go figure out a way to meet him.
He was in a band movie called Spinal Tap. They're going to do a sequel to that soon.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's good. It's really funny. Light of Day, I would argue. Did Light of Day come out around the same time as Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap's a little earlier, but yeah.
It's earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
Next thing you're going to tell me, Chris, is that Carl Reiner directed it.
No, it's the guy who did Best in Show.
Wow.
I'm kidding. That was a joke. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, Rob Reiner. I see. What's the year that Spinal Tap came out? 1984. You're right.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
1984.
No, the other part.
Oh, you were right.
Oh, okay. Feel like you buried the lead.
You would. So one sibling is mean, and the other sibling is genteel, kind-hearted, magical. So one might say magical.
There are some things like being crammed into a hotel room or a motel room. That's kind of, that was realistic.
Well, because we never stayed anywhere for that long, but that
Yeah.
part of the movie is grim. That they're stuck in Flint for 4 days or something. That's when they use the kid to steal the meat, and it's just that was depressing.
Going shopping, some of those things are familiar, but
We always had a pretty good time. I think. There's stressful times on tour, but it wasn't as bleak as this.
Yeah, that was the rule. That's when bands break up. Bands break up on days off.
What's the Mike Watt saying? If you're not playing, you're paying.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, definitely.
Kill Devil Hills, we stayed. I felt like that was a couple of days.
Yeah, it could have been.
I felt like that was pushing the limit. That was
That was really early on.
Yeah, it was kind of cold and
a hurricane was coming in.
Yeah, that's what that scene reminded me of.
I really liked that.
Yeah, Jim liked Kill Devil Hills,
Yeah.
being on that beach in that little beach house with 40-degree wind whipping around.
Yeah, it was literally hurricane was
Mist.
coming
Yeah.
the next day.
That sounds kind of cozy.
Yeah, it was off season. It was great. Those places are great.
Off-season.
Off season beach places.
So I told you guys about that movie Spinal Tap, that band movie Spinal Tap. There was also an album that came out around that time called "You're Living All Over Me" by this band called Dinosaur, and they had that happen. Have you guys seen that documentary on Dinosaur Jr.?
I know.
Oh, I think I may have watched that because the titles
good.
though, like it's pretty homemade, right?
It's made by I think Jay's brother-in-law. I think made it.
Like I remember, like the title cards and everything like that were kind of super cheesy digitally, like kind of looking. Is that right?
Oh,
I don't know. I felt like the documentary. It was weird. There was something weird about the documentary. I feel like, but that's all I remember from it.
oh. Well, no. What I remembered from it was not the title cards. Was that they got stuck in like Montana or something for a week. The van broke down, and this was before "You're Living All Over Me" had come out. They were stuck there for a week, and Jay at one point lost it and just had a massive like unleashing on both of them, Lou and Murph. And he kind of crushed Murph's soul, and then like made Lou so pissed that he was like, "I'm never going to contribute to this band ever again." And it was all Jay was saying. It was like, I felt like we were going to be failures, and he was like really driven to make that band a success, and just the van breaking down and being stuck, and then nobody showing up to their shows because it was only after the first record come out. And so now they all hate each other and don't ever want to play with each other again. And then "You're Living All Over Me" hits, and they're like legends, just like one of the greatest records of all time. It was just so sad. It was like, if you just could have been a little more patient, Jay. And then that's the tour, then I guess Lou did not contribute at all to Bug. He just basically did whatever Jay said because he was so pissed at him. And then that was the tour where they just talked through Murph all the time as a triangle, which we saw. It was pretty sad. But they're back together now. They're all
Everything's good.
You opened for them just before the end. I think it was the few days.
Yeah, did we open or I saw the show?
No,
it was in
definitely
Champaign.
because I was not in the band yet, and I saw you opened.
So we opened for that show.
The second floor place.
Yeah, Tritos
Tritos.
Uptown. Yeah, that was like a day or two before that.
They broke up before
breakup. Yeah, the original.
Lou attacked Jay or something on stage. The day or two after that.
Yeah,
it was a great show.
It was so loud. I had to stand outside. So it was second floor. There's a big staircase up to the second floor restaurant with the bands, and I stood in the entranceway at the stairwell, to the second floor to watch them because it was so loud.
I'd seen them the night before in Chicago at the Cabaret Metro. It's in this movie we saw tonight. Yeah, that was insanely loud.
And I was with you
Yeah,
at that show.
It was
the Bug Tour, right?
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
I remember being right in front of Lou, and when at some point Lou just screaming into the mic during a song, and it was just like full bore. It was just like this, and the whole sound. It was like it was like this crazy overloaded sound. Like everything was insane.
Or like little furry things or something. Where he's
Maybe,
at the war. He's like, wow.
They're a loud band.
But they weren't as loud as like something. Well, I saw Motorhead. More like cozy kind of loud band was intimate settings was Zenny Gava. at Lounge X. That was crazy because they were recording with Steve, and it was because our drummer at the time in our band, Bob, Steve had called Bob and said, "Oh, you have to come see this band. They're recording with me today, and they're playing at Lounge X tonight." And so I went. Bob called me, and I went there too, and that was crazy loud, but great Japanese noise band. That's one of the loudest things I've experienced.
The one loud one for me was the My Bloody Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
What was it's the song. They would end with this 20-minute
Noise.
noise song.
Oh.
I think, was it the Aragon? Where was it?
It could have been like the Riviera.
Like 10 people left at the end. They literally drove people out of the building. It was amazing. Yeah, everybody who stayed was pinned to the back wall. Because at some point it was just like, they're just going to be making this noise forever. We're going to leave.
That happened to me recently, like within the last 4 years at a Meat Puppet show. It was so insanely loud. It hit a frequency that just felt like they were jabbing a ice pick in my ear.
Yeah.
But I sat through it. But I mean, they're not a notoriously loud
that's
band.
weird.
But
Yeah, because when I saw them, but that was a long time ago. They were relatively, they were loud. I guess they were loud.
So Scott asked me this question the other day. He's like, is You're Living All Over Me really one of the greatest albums of all time? Or is it just that it was just a really good album that hit us at that point in time in our lives? And then we've since listened to it a couple more times, and I'm like, I think it's pretty brilliant. But what is your reaction? You guys were at different stages, and Rick, you're out touring.
I don't know if I was that far out touring, but I mean, for me, Jim hipped me to it.
Right.
I already had heard the greatest album, which was New Day Rising by Husker Du. So I had already gone through that. So for me, that was that. The dinosaur thing was really great, but it was like, that wasn't as important.
It depends. It's totally personal age.
Yeah.
So it's a timing thing.
Totally.
It is a timing thing. It has to be a great record, but
Yeah.
the timing of
I
when
haven't
it hits
listened to it in
you.
a long time.
Yeah, I'd have to listen to it again.
Oh, I listened to it the other day. It was perfect.
Yeah, I did love it when it came out. I remember.
There's that way that song that just starts with a it goes from like when they just start the song. Even just the assembly of it was great. And then I didn't realize how there's that song at the end that has just a huge weird noise collage thing that goes on for a really long time. But it's still only a 38-minute record. Even with Show Me the Way, which I don't think was on the vinyl, right?
Yeah, that feels like
Yeah.
Maybe.
Show Me the Way? Is that a song?
Peter
Is that a
Frampton.
song
Peter
title?
Frampton, yeah.
Peter Frampton song title? Okay.
Boy, yeah, that's a good question. Because I've heard it.
And they did the Cure. I have the single, that
Yeah.
Cure song they did.
Has that got
Yeah.
the carved,
Just like Epic.
one side is
Yeah.
etched, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Are we at the point where we ask? Oh, we are actually timing wise. We promised 9:30.
But I want to know, when you edit this, you'll let me know how long we spent on pleasantries. I feel like we went right in. I don't think we did 10 minutes of pleasantries.
Well, the difference between you and me, Rick, is that every second of this was pleasant. For you,
No.
I don't know.
No. Yes. No, I'm not angry.
Picture to me, Rick is dying, and I'm sitting.
No.
Oh, no,
You're
I'm dying,
dying.
and Rick is sitting in the chair, and I'm like, Rick, I love you. I've loved every minute we ever spent together.
Yeah.
You're such a good friend to me.
Okay. By the way, your father is a priest.
Yeah, that's not true. Well, actually, it could be. No.
Sorry.
No. There's no guarantees. Actually, there is. Should this film be lost, Rick?
Yes.
Okay, Jim?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to agree. No. Paul Schrader, I'm not sure. Well, I need to see Mishma. I'm not sure if he's great. I need to. I keep like First Reformed. That's a great movie. I remember that being amazing. I think it's important because it's a Paul Schrader film. But are Paul Schrader films important? I'm not sure. I'm conflicted. Continue.
Hardcore. I think he just likes to poke, or he likes to bring you down. Taxi Driver, if it wasn't so masterfully made, would be a real bummer.
Yeah, his films are bummers, man.
But there's some beautiful and some funny moments in Taxi Driver, at least. Albert Brooks, right? He's in Taxi Driver.
Is he funny in Taxi Driver, though?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
I think there is,
because he's always hitting on Sybil Shepherd, and he's wondering why this vagrant taxi driver is getting her attention, and he's not. And then he takes her to a porn movie. That's funny. Should this film be found, Rick? Would you recommend this to a student or a coworker?
No, I'm to the point where I feel like I'm not going to be talking to anybody. It's just like, when am I going to be in a situation anymore where I want to say, hey, you know what's a good movie? It's just like I've given up.
Unless if it's somebody who's in a band, I think they should.
Do you want to know what it's like to be in a band? Oh, that's what I want. Yeah, I want to talk about. Have you guys seen One Trick Pony, Paul Simon movie?
No.
It's interesting. I believe he directed it. You can correct me on that, Chris.
This is Chris Lost Everybody. I got too lazy to hook up a microphone to my editing rig, so I'm using a free text-to-speech converter. I'm interjecting at this point to say that Rick was wrong about Paul Simon directing the film, One Trick Pony. One Trick Pony was directed by Robert M. Young. At first blush, Robert M. Young appears to be a journeyman director who, from my perspective, most notably directed 5 episodes of the modern Battlestar Galactica TV series. However, I'm sure Rick would have caught me being ignorant about his most notable film, 1977's Alambrista. Again, I never said I was smart, and as a teaser for our next special, I promise to share the results of my recent comprehensive cognitive testing on the next episode of Lost and Found and Rewound. These results are not innocuous and definitely shed light on whether I am smart or dumb, in addition to determining whether I am suffering cognitive decline. So make sure to tune in for that very special episode. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
He's not Paul Simon. He's like not as famous, and he's driving around in a van sometimes. And he's recording in the studio. Or he's been famous, is less famous. The B-52s are in it, right? They're the band. They're the cool new wave band that confuses him, I think. Lou Reed's in it.
Wow.
It's super weird. I need to watch that again now, too, to see.
So he's not like Paul Simon famous. He's like Edie Brickell famous.
Wow. Except, was Edie Brickell even born in 1980? What year is
1980.
One Trick Pony?
Rip Torn's in it.
1980. She was born in 1980.
Yeah, she's like our age, right?
Yeah.
It would just be like us being married to a 80-year-old person.
It's like Daryl Hannah is married
Daryl
to
Hannah, Neil Young.
Young.
Haskell Wexler's niece. I'd totally forgotten that, but then she mentioned that, but then I looked it up, and she's kind of like a step niece.
Edie Brickell's 59.
Yeah, there we go. It's close to my age. Anyway, sorry, I derailed it again.
Jim, would you recommend this to somebody at the grocery store?
Yeah, probably not.
When you're like smuggling some steak and trying to distract the checkout clerk.
Are you a Joan Jett fan? You got to see this movie.
Wait a minute. That's that movie where they're stealing stuff at the checkout.
No,
is that what you're...
No, they're just
Is that why you're bringing it up?
They're in a rock band.
I've seen that movie. Every checkout person has seen that movie. We actually, in our training, we watch that clip, and they say, look out for little kids with steaks in their shirts.
Look out for people who are putting their hands in little kids' pants.
Right.
Especially the key is if the kid says, Mommy, I'm cold.
They did all these performances live, yes?
It's not AI. I mean, it's real.
Well, it's not AI. I'm pretty sure 1987.
Oh, you mean like the
music
the
playing?
music is performed? Ooh, I don't know.
I think so.
Some of it seemed a little weird, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I have a feeling they did.
They might have fixed some of it.
Yeah.
But I think the foundational tracks were them playing live, and then I think they went over and dubbed some stuff that kind of got fucked up.
You forget that, Michael J. Fox, accomplished guitar player, basically invented rock and roll.
Exactly. Well, he invented Chuck Berry.
Yeah, rock and roll.
He can play, right? And then Michael McKean can play.
Mm-hmm.
Joan Jett can play.
Mm-hmm. And then the drummer guy, I looked him up. Yeah, he's a drummer.
He was doing the twirling the sticks right on time. He was.
So I think these bands played.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Trent Reznor's band was really playing whatever was going on there.
He looked like he was playing real chords, but I don't know if that was what was happening in the music. Yeah.
Yeah, my sense was they were really playing.
So we got at least 2 questions from Michael McKean. What's with the beard? And then were you playing for real?
Was that really you?
Yeah. If we could get a third question for him, I think maybe we'd have a package that we could probably present to his people.
Jim, you come up with the third question, and then we'll wrap up the show here with the third question.
They've all got to be light of day related, though.
Yeah. What's the third light of day question for Michael McKean?
Did you really work in that factory, like to work on your character, maybe?
How do you feel about Prince Andrew now? That second tray.
Yeah.
Oh, was Prince Andrew on one of the
Yeah,
trays?
so first tray.
Fergie, and
So to show the passage of time,
Right.
you had the first trays were Prince Charles and Diana, and then the second trays later on, post beard.
Did they really? Is that really what they did to show the passage of time?
yeah.
Chris, you got to be watching these movies. I mean, this is an auteur. There's depth to this. These choices that are being made.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot of depth to this, right? The dysfunction in this family was all kind of surface level stuff. It's like, okay, had a kid out of wedlock, mom and daughter don't get along. I guess,
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could remember what Paul Schrader interview I was listening to, but he was talking about cocaine and at some point talking about productivity and writing when you're coked up. And it's, but I feel like this would have been the tail end or post coke for him script writing. But he said it was like diminishing returns. Like it just got to the point where you kind of think you're being productive, cranking out stuff, but it's not good.
Right.
It's not good.
It's not good.
That was the other thing is that clip has been going around. We've talked about, right? Popeye. Yeah, we've talked about Popeye, right? And it was Barry Diller. Like, it was like, what was who was it? Somebody interviewing him. Barry Diller, I think, was the head of, I can't remember, would it have been Columbia or Universal or something like that. Somebody asked him what was the most coked up movie. And he was like, Popeye. It's like without a beat, Popeye, without a doubt, Popeye. And it was just talking about film canisters, like they'd send the film, to be processed, and they'd send film canisters back. And that was how, that's what he said. He said that's how they were transporting the cocaine back and forth.
Was film canisters?
Yeah, was all the films.
And what was the thing I brought up? It was a dummy or something.
Coffin?
A coffin, yeah.
Yeah. And
Kissinger
Henry
wrote
Kissinger.
a letter to get through, yeah.
Yeah, but he said being on that set, it was insane. But it was like without a question. That it was just top of mind.
Well, I think, now I'm really getting out of my depth, I think that's a kid stays in the picture thing. I think that's Robert Evans oversaw Popeye. And that, again, that's where the diminishing returns of the cocaine, you could see even in his film path, because he was doing like The Godfather and then all of a sudden like the Popeyes start coming out and his head of the studio stature is immediately threatened.
Yeah.
Oh, who are we in the film? What character are you, Rick?
I think we already talked about
so
that.
Joan
Right?
Jett,
I'm Joan Jett.
Michael J. Fox,
Michael J. Fox.
and then I'm just the dumb guy who does sound for them.
the guy with the neck tattoo.
Yeah.
Very, very unusual for 1987.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. It was a little weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Although maybe he saw a character in Repo. He looked more like he should be in Repo Man.
Yeah, but even then, like Repo Man, nobody had tattoos then, right?
Not really.
I feel like the tattoo thing happened a few years later.
Yeah. And at least professional tattoo. Yeah. People had, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't really a punk thing.
Maybe I was the cool reverend. No.
Let me think about it. Chris. Why aren't you Michael McKean?
He was like a good bass player.
The father from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Who's the father from The Exorcist?
The father.
Oh, the father.
What's his name?
That's the priest.
The other
father. Yeah. The priest from The Exorcist.
Okay, priest from The Exorcist. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's in Exorcist 3 too, right? He shows up.
Oh no, you know who I am? I'm the guy who makes him pay $600 to buy his sister's brother-in-law and sister's tools back.
Yeah. There's no violence, right? There's just implied
No.
violence.
No, it's just You got to get it. You got to do this. I know you're an okay guy. And then after he does it, because first he gets really mad because he's wronged.
Yeah.
Then Michael J. Fox makes it good, and he's like, okay, hey, I got some job opportunities for you. Right? He was like, he was offering him some opportunities to paint houses or something. I forget what it was. Yeah.
But then he says your sister though still is, I don't know what he says, she's completely trashes her.
I think both Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox in this movie aren't good people. I don't want to be either of them. I don't think I think that's really mean of you, Chris. Someone I can understand, you're just angry at me and trying to get back at me, but Jim, saying that about Jim seems really unfair. It seems like the kind of thing Joan Jett would say to Michael J. Fox.
The nicest person in the movie was Michael J. Fox. He got the $600. He paid back the $600. He took care of, he did take a weird naked bath with his nephew, where we had some full frontal action going on there, which I was like, can you do that? I guess you can in 1985. Now, people who haven't watched the movie are really going to wonder about what I just said.
You got to watch the movie now.
It's not as bad as I just
I guess he is the best person, but there's some things he says and does, though, that seem mean.
I think he was supposed to be like a Mark Ruffalo type. And he just came off as a Michael J. Fox.
I get to see you like transporting onto the movie set, from your time machine and say, Paul, you got to get somebody who's more like a Mark Ruffalo kind of character. And Paul Schrader's like, who's this guy? And who's Mark Ruffalo?
Now my theory is that You Can Count on Me is the sequel to Light of Day. If I remember correctly, the brother and sister are dealing with the death of their mother in that movie.
And they're musicians?
No, they've given up the music.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember the music one with the sisters, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and then
Justine Bateman?
No. Justine Bateman, is that what it is?
There was some Justine Bateman music movie that I always mixed up with Light of Day. I can't remember what it is.
I think one of them's a country singer, and then Jennifer Jason Leigh's like a crazy punk rock singer. I gotta find that movie. There are lots of music movies. Now, one would argue that there is a particular music film, that is integral to the understanding of music films, kind of iconic, really defines the genre.
Star is Born? Purple Rain?
Editor Chris, in the future, just pop that name in for that movie.
What is the clue? There is a music film. What, The Wizard of Oz? There's a music film. Oh,
that was interesting. The Coen brothers said they just keep making The Wizard of Oz. It was an interesting.
Who, they keep making it?
Yeah, that's the movie they're always making.
Is The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, it's very reductionist, but it was funny. But then if you start thinking about it, they're all journeys, right? Characters going through.
Oh, all of their films, or just everybody is just making The Wizard of Oz?
No, they are. They just keep remaking The Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is pretty fucking brilliant. Have you guys seen Wicked?
No.
Oh, wow. I can only... The sour tone. Is that the movie you're talking about? Wicked?
Wait, Wicked Part 1?
Well, I think the second Wicked is called, like, Wicked Again or something. It's some clever title.
Double Wicked?
Wicked 2, T-O-O.
That's what I heard, right?
Two Wicked. It's two Wicked.
They're splitting it in half, right?
Yeah, they already have split it in half.
Yeah, so I'm not going to watch that. I read the book.
Wicked is a book?
Originally, yeah.
Oh, Spinal Tap? What quintessential rock movie does Editor Chris have to remember?
He'll figure it out. He'll know.
He won't, Rick.
He will.
Okay, you gave me enough clues? You gave him enough clues to figure it out?
Yeah, you'll realize it as you're editing it. It's funny. It'll be funny. It'll be fun for you.
Okay, let's leave it at that. I like that. And if I don't get it, then I'm going to go back to the MRI guys and be like, you missed something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too cryptic.
Stay tuned for our next special episode of Lost and Found and Rewound, where Rick and Chris and Jim will go to Chanhassen, Minneapolis.
Where do you live, Prince Chanhassen, Minneapolis? Is that what it's called? I mean, why don't you just move to LA and just make it easier for everybody instead of living in Chanhassen, Minneapolis?
Actually, sorry. where Rick and Jim and Chris will take the train to Chanhassen, Minnesota to visit the grave, the final resting place of Prince.
What I really need to do is from Paisley Park, I need to ride my 10-speed over to the CVS down the street.
Where they used to go buy the Faygo for the parties?
Yeah, I can't remember, but I remember that was one of the last, people saw him. He had ridden his bike over to the, CVS or something. I got to look it up. It was like they saw him that weekend.
Well, it's funny, our tour guide, when I went, she used to work at, a convenience store, and when his bodyguards would show up to buy soda and chips, they knew there was a party at Paisley Park.
Could tell people.
And then they would spread the word and they'd all go. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for this very special episode of Lost and Found and Rewound. Next time, it will be 3 not strangers on a train going to see Prince's final resting place.
I got a picture of Prince 5 days before his death riding a bike.
All right, make the button green, will you, Rick? Lost and Found and Rewound is fully funded by Lost and Found and Rewound Foundation funds. Lost and Found and Rewound does not use crowdfunding because our listeners have better things to do with their funding. There's no need to post reviews of Lost and Found and Rewound because our listeners have more valuable things to do with their time. In all sincerity, thank you for listening to the show. We truly appreciate it.
Lotus Pod.